So this is to show some basic concepts in geometry. So let me open the box. I have a small box with some materials inside. I have push pins also, and I have geoboard, which is a grid, circular grid as well as square grid, and I have a whiteboard. And underneath the flaps, with triangular flaps of the board, you have some rubber bands. I'm going to take out the rubber band, put it on the lid of the box. So, to explain some basic concepts like a straight line, array, or line segment, we have few models done. So, what is a segment? Now, we all know what a point is. Now, if you want to know what a point is, you have a push pin and you prick, and that becomes your point. Now, we have just enlarged 2 points, and there's a thread between these 2 points. So, this is a segment. Now, between any 2 points, the line between any 2 points is a segment. Okay, it's straight. Okay, all right. So we know what a line segment is. And now let's look at what a ray is. Ray is something which starts from a point, but it can be extended on one side. If you can see this arrow, this is the arrow, it can be extended on one side. So the one side is stuck. One side is cannot be extended. One side cannot be extended. So I'm going to just put a push pin there. Even for segment, I'm putting a push pin. So I know it is stable and wouldn't move. So I'm doing the same thing for a ray only on one side. So other side can be pulled. Then the third one is a straight line. And the straight line can be pulled from both the sides. So I'm going to put a push pin in the center. So there is a point in the center and I can pull on both the sides. So it can be extended on both the sides. This is called a straight line. So these are the three basic concepts, and I'm going to demonstrate with few examples using geoboard. Now we have made angle in our geoboard using rubber bands. Now, if you turn it around, you have circular grid, and there is a radius of a circle which is made using rubber band, and there's also a tangent which is made using rubber band, tangent to the circle. Now, although child learning basics of geometry may not know this is a tangent and that's a radius, etc., you could still explain with these examples, because you can actually make out what they are even if you don't know the vocabulary. So you can take a rubber band, make a straight line. Ask a child to make a straight line, you make it, and then intersect it with another line, another straight line. So tell the child that this is the angle and this is where the angle is made. Okay, if I decrease the size of the line, do you see any difference in the angle? Do you see? So make the child hold the place where there's angle and ask if the child sees any different in the space there. So you decrease the size of one side, or one line, or both the lines. Do you see any difference? If the rubber band is too big, you could actually make two rounds to it, right? Now, whether I increase it or decrease it, the angle remains the same, isn't it? So, in this case, the angle, this is the angle. In this case, I am fixing this line at one point and extending only on the other side. I can make it longer, shorter, anything, right? So that is a concept of example of a ray. Okay. Now I'll turn it around and I have these circles. Now there is a point in the center of a circle, and if I join that point to any of the points on the circle, I'm not talking about circumference as of now, you get something called as radius. Now it remains the same, radius remains the same. So the child could explore and see that the radius, what a radius is. Okay. Now the radius is a line segment which cannot be extended beyond the circle. This cannot be a radius if I extend it beyond. At the same time, it cannot be shorter than the one that I was shown. Therefore, it is fixed between the center point and a point on the circle. Therefore, this is an example of a segment. Now, I'm going to use one of the points on the circle and then draw a straight line, um, like this. Draw a straight line, fixing it to another point outside of the circle. Okay. Now this point is called a tangent. Okay, if you see, the outer portion of the line is straight. The inner portion, because it's broad, it is touching another point, whereas the outer portion is not touching any. Okay, that is called a tangent. Now the tangent can be extended on both the sides of the point, right? So that becomes an example of a straight line.